Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USBTO, tuần theo Liên theo, tuần chơi Girl Scout, logistics và warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.
Before we dive into the ins and outs of PPC, an important factor to have already done is your PPC keyword research. That includes ASINs that you're going to use to target in ASIN-based campaigns, which is very important to any PPC strategy. So we at Helium 10 have several tools that you can use, one of which is a free tool, our Google Chrome extension. And I'm going to show you how to leverage both of these in order to do some keyword research ahead of launching your PPC campaigns, or maybe to add to your PPC campaigns after they've launched. Once you've selected some keywords that you think are really relevant to your product, an easy way to check to make sure that they are actually relevant is by doing a quick reference check here in Amazon. So I want to go ahead and search for the word crutches, because let's say hypothetically I have crutches that I want to sell. So when I type that in, I can really quickly see how many campaigns or products in here have the word crutches in their particular title. So I can see crutch and crutch in two places here, crutches. Quite a few in the sponsored position have crutches, but we've got some in the organic position that have the word crutch in it as well. So between those two keywords, it looks like that is a relative keyword or a relevant keyword to this particular product that should be useful. So depending on what your product is, you just want to do a quick gut check, so to speak, to make sure that whatever keyword you're thinking about using is actually relevant to your particular products. So once you do have that verification, what you can do is check in Magnet for some comparison. So here in Magnet, I'm going to go ahead and enter the word crutch just to see what else I get that comes up that is relevant to this particular keyword. Now I've already done this before, so Amazon or Helium 10 is just going to load the history. Now the most important thing that you're looking for when you're doing this kind of comparison is what's the highest search volume of keywords that are actually relevant. So I'm going to go ahead and sort by search volume. And we can see a couple of keywords that are at the top that are related to searches for crutch, but aren't actually crutch, such as pillow, a knee scooter, which is an alternative to crutches, which is walker is as well. So we've got a lot of search volume for keywords that are around the category of crutch, but really the only one that's super specific to this keyword is actually just the plural, which is crutches. So that's really good to know, is that we were really on target when we were looking at this particular keyword for this particular product. So once you do find a similar keyword, and it could even end up being the same keyword that is relevant, has a high search volume, then that's when you can go ahead and look at that within X-Ray. X-Ray is the free Google Chrome browser extension that I mentioned at the beginning, so you can actually load this up. Now I already turned this on in this view, and you can do that in your browser area at the top of your window. So once you have that downloaded, you can see information like this. So there's lots of details that you can see in these little boxes right above all these different products. You can see rankings and categories for number 3 in crutches, number 2 in crutches. This one's number 1 in crutches, for example. So I'm going to go ahead and use X-Ray now. You also have this tab that can open up once you have the view open. So just click on that, and it's just automatically going to scan this page for the search results for crutches that I went ahead and entered. So this is a really easy way for anyone, really, again, because this is a free Google Chrome extension, to get information on keywords right away that they can then use for their PPC if they want to. So what you want to do is really actually sort this by the most relevant data possible. You want to look at it by highest revenue competitors, for example. So let's look at the ones that have made the most sales to start. So we have that sorted by sales, but you also want to look at, what's the most relevant as far as filtering down to price point and things like that. So you really should select items that are similar in price as well to you when you're making these types of selections. So I'm going to go ahead and just scan a few of these. I know the price of the product that I'm looking to compare against is this one here, and it's $159. So when we look at the top sellers, I'm not going to select that same product, but I can see this one at $119, this one at $119. So anything basically over 100, I'm going to want to select so that we can do this comparison against. Now, you can actually also download this report as well, and then just do these selections maybe on a CSV report. But I like doing it in here because in this way I can actually just use Cerebro or open it up in Cerebro, which is right here. So I like to generally do about 10 different selections. So I have 2 more to do. Let's see, the next 2 that are over $100, we're just going to go ahead and select. So now we have these 10 selected. Again, these are the highest selling for the particular word crutches. And then you're going to want to run Cerebro. Again, this part is a paid tool as well, but it's something that you can really easily use to then cross-reference all 10 of these particular ASINs and get some really, really effective keywords from it. Because effectively what we're doing is we're comparing all the keywords that all 10 of these ASINs are using for their PPC. So you're going to get a lot of results when you initially do this. You got 12,727 keywords here. So obviously that's way too much. So you're going to want to use our filtering. And there's a few key things that you'll want to use here in order to make this keyword list a little bit more manageable. So at a minimum, I like to look at keywords that have search volumes of at least 400. You can do 500 if you wanted to drill it down even further. But we're basically saying we don't want to look at any keywords with a search volume, monthly search volume that's below 400. Position rank is also an important one, and this is the organic rank for that particular product or that keyword. So if the keyword is over 70, for example, that's going to be leading them to show up on the second page. So we don't really want to go over 70. We want to be at least on the first 2 pages. If you want to be on the first page, you cut this down to maybe 30. So you can really play with how many keywords you end up getting. So if I were to apply the filters right now, we're going to go ahead and drill that down to 1,693 filtered keywords from the previous count. So one other area that you can do to make sure that this is filtered down even more is the minimum ranking competitors. So we've got 10 different ASINs that we're looking at here. So we can really only compare up to 9 of them because we're already looking at comparing 10. So what we want to do is include maybe I only want to cross-reference 8 of these ones. So what I'm saying here is I want to just see the keywords that at least 8 of these particular ASINs have been using, right? So if you wanted to drill it down even further, you can go ahead and do that at 7. And you can see it's drilling down a little bit more every single time. So if you really want to play with these keywords and really drill it down, you just adjust some of these settings and it's going to give you exactly the keywords that are going to be the most beneficial. So let's go ahead and do this to a maximum of 1,000. So what we're really saying is we really only want to target these high volume keywords. And you can see we've filtered that down to 435. So there's lots of different ways that you can filter out or filter down these keywords. And this is just some of the ways that we want to do that. So once you have this saved, then you can go ahead and export this, and then you can use this for your PPC campaigns.
Chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Scout cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi. Như đăng ký brand với USBTO, từ Liên, theo, từ trường Scout, DịCH và Warehouse. Xem thêm thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.